Hello, I'm Tania, and in this video I am going to share how you can unlock your hidden potential by harnessing the power of your strengths and of your core values in order to transform your life and also to impact the lives of others. If this is a topic of interest, please stick around. And the reason for this video was prompted from a conversation that I had with a fellow coach and therapist earlier this week. And basically we have both, through our corporate jobs, done the Clifton Strengths Finders exercise, which looks at your 34 strengths and prioritises them, because we're all unique, and the order in which they all sort of explain our behaviour patterns and how we show up for ourselves and in a work environment. And this is an exercise that I did way back in 2005, so it's a long time ago. But the reality is your strengths don't necessarily change. Maybe the order or the sequencing of it might change a little bit, but fundamentally this is your kind of DNA, your foundational, how you've behaved and the kind of patterns of behaviour that you've sort of demonstrated, whether within the workplace or within your kind of personal relationships up until that point. So that was a corporate exercise, and the company paid for the actual test. There is a test that you can actually do online, and it can give you the top 5 or it can give you the full 34, but there's obviously a cost associated with that. And in addition, there is a book. Now this is the 2005 edition that I had, and at the back of the book there is a code that would allow you to do the actual top 5 test for free. I am not affiliated with this, and there's probably lots of other material on the internet that you can actually find that would give you what your potential top 5 strengths are, if it's something that you've not personally undertaken as part of your job, career, self-development up until now. So it might be something of interest for you if you want to sort of explore that. And what I've also done is another video, and I'll put the link below, where there is a free test that you can actually do to identify your top 5 core values. And this is what your kind of underlying blueprint, your beliefs, and the things that you aspire towards. And what, as part of our discussion, it was about how can we bring our strengths and our core values and bring them together, and also create some strong metaphors to create a strong linkage which intensifies our why, our purpose, our meaning as to why we behave the way that we do. And then that will enable us to find language that resonates with us. And by doing this, we can also help our clients, either from a coaching perspective or from a therapy perspective, for them to tap into what their kind of core values are, what their strengths are, and for them to then start creating those metaphors that mean something bespoken for them. So from my kind of personal perspective, what I then did after having that conversation with my friend is I sat and looked at what were my top 5 strengths, what were my top core values, and then did that exercise. And just to sort of bring that to life for you, to sort of like see how linking the two can actually create a richer, more kind of dynamic and empowering way to relate to ourselves and use language and pictures to create that kind of motivation, encouragement, empowerment for us in order to propel us to achieve our goals and aspirations. So my top 5 strengths are relator, which is interpersonal relationships, communicating with people, which is no surprise. I'm a Gemini and I'm a talker, and that's probably clear and apparent through these videos. Harmony is something that it's about keeping the peace and being able to bring people with different opinions and helping them to communicate in a harmonious way for the greater good of the organisation, of humanity, whatever that may be. Connectedness, which means that I sort of see us, and through this channel I've been sort of sharing what my beliefs are, that we're all interconnected, we're all part of a greater power, whatever you may want to call that. And this is where we can work together in a collaborative way for the greatest good of everyone, and that connectedness, seeing the kind of bigger picture, helps in order to do that. Self-assurance is my fourth one, which is that kind of sense of I am confident in my abilities, in my beliefs, to be able to articulate that and share that and show up as the best version of myself in every kind of situation that I possibly can come across. And my fifth one is responsibility, which links to my innate belief that we are responsible for every action, decision, choice that we make in our own lives. Life is happening for us, not to us. And I see life as an experience for us to learn, grow and develop, and help impact and influence other people, to help us move from that kind of sense of pain and suffering to more pleasure, enjoyment, joy, contentment. So that is my kind of top 5 strengths. Then my top 5 core values are freedom. That sense of time freedom, of living life on your own terms, of being able to focus your energy and mental capacity on tasks that are making you feel present, make you feel aware, feeling comfortable in your own skin. That is what I associate with the freedom. Inner harmony, having that internal balance within us where we're not judging, we're not criticizing, we're not pushing ourselves down, but instead we're becoming aware, we're acknowledging how we're feeling, how we're showing up, and then if we want to make changes, we can course correct in order to get to that sense of peace, calmness and contentment. Because having been in a kind of go busy, like super achieving all the time, that can lead to burnout, that can lead to dissatisfaction, resentment and self-sabotage in a lot of situations. So for me, inner harmony is really, really important. Compassion is my third, and this is about being kind, considerate to myself first, because I chose this life experience. I've made all the choices and the decisions to get me to this point. There is no point in me like criticizing and judging myself, because then I am abusing myself. I am not showing up as my best version. And by being compassionate, by being kind, not putting myself off the hook, not giving myself excuses and stories, but instead coming from a place of, no, you did the best that you could do under the circumstances. And hindsight is a fantastic thing, but at this moment in time, you've only got certain facts and information, and on that, you're doing the best that you can do. So coming from that place of compassion. Authenticity is my fourth, and that is about me showing up as my true whole self, me being vulnerable and sharing my life experiences, the lessons that I've learned, because I have made a lot of mistakes along the way, but they were vital for me to learn the really important lessons, for me to move from that point of being pain and suffering and tormenting myself to flipping it, to being compassionate, to being caring, to taking care of my needs first, because that is my responsibility, just like one of my strengths is sort of like showing up. And then my fifth one is love, because we are all energy, we are all connected, we are all part of that greater power, and we're all here to help each other to navigate this life experience. And in some instances, it's about navigating the challenges and obstacles, about how can we do that without going into a pain suffering situation. And at the same time, that we're not constantly just seeking the pleasure, and we're not learning, we're not growing, we're not sharing, we're not contributing in our own personal journey, but also with the people that we're interacting and impacting along the way, because there's ripple effects all the way along. And taking my 5 top strengths and taking my 5 core values, what I was sort of like, the kind of metaphors that were coming up for me is that I've always been a curious person, and that is me being the detective. I am the detective, whether as a coach or as a friend, as a mentor, as a colleague, because I'm curious. I want to understand where people are at that point in time, where they're heading to, how could I potentially add value and help them get there quicker. And that's not just from a coaching therapy perspective, but previously as a qualified accountant, working on large transformational projects, it was about how could I add value? But you had to be curious, you had to be the detective to be able to get that. So that's the kind of relator coming through in a big way. Then the kind of harmony and the inner harmony that I wanted to have within myself is about me being the peacemaker, being the negotiator. A lot of situations I've been the one that's brought 2 people or 2 points of views and sort of like done the pros and cons and seen things from different perspectives in order for us to find some common ground, in order for us to then be able to move cohesively together as a collaborative team to be able to achieve the ultimate objective that we may have. I've also been the guide in some instances where I have channeled that kind of sort of inner gut wisdom, my life experiences, and by sharing, then I can actually provide tangible examples of this is what I've done, this is what some of my clients have done, this is what some of my family members have done, because all that experience is invaluable. Unless you've sort of got points of references, you don't know then what to avoid, what to maybe do more of, and it's all kind of so super useful. And then the kind of final bit, the kind of final 2 bits, is about my kind of self-assurance and my confidence. And now that I'm coming from a place of kindness and compassion towards myself and actually loving myself, I am feeling that I am the confident light bearer, that I can actually, through this channel and through my online practice, be able to help guide and steer people that are maybe a little bit lost. They just need a little bit of a nudge, or need a little bit someone to cheer them on and say, pat on the back, well done, you showed up, you're still watching this video 12 minutes in. You are actually taking time and making time to enhance your life experience because you're maybe learning something. Maybe you're able to apply some of the things that I'm actually sharing in this video. And that is about being able to sort of lead the way and being vulnerable in doing so, because I don't have it all figured out. It's taken me until I was in my 50s to actually love myself. So if someone's watching this in your 20s and 30s and 40s, you're ahead of the curve, because you're getting guidance and advice to help you navigate your life and get to that point way before I did. And then the final bit, it's about being the kind of knight and shining armor and protector of my own soul, because no one's coming to my rescue. I might have people that can steer me, guide me, but I'm the one that needs to do the inner work. I'm the one that needs to do the self-reflection. I'm the one that needs to show up for myself on a daily basis. You can have all the tools, techniques, the books, the videos, the courses. You can have all of it, but if you don't take the action to monitor, course correct, be kind, demonstrate to yourself that you're showing up, then you're missing that whole kind of potential of how far you can actually go, how much you can actually achieve, how much you can actually experience. So that is my kind of linkage of my top strengths and my top core values, and using the metaphors as how then it's sort of like it sort of explains and probably demonstrates a little bit more of what my kind of fundamental purpose is. And it's all about living life on our terms. It's all about us living the life that we were always meant to live. And we sometimes need to get out of our own way. And some of these tools and techniques can actually help us see the blind spots and navigate life in a kind of smoother, more comfortable way. So let me know in the description below, have you done this Clifton Strengths Finders? Have you done your core values? Have you got any metaphors that you would actually use to describe how you're showing up for yourself? Please feel free to share. If this is the type of content, because I sort of like, it's all about self-development, it's all about enhancing the life experience, about being our own cheerleaders and sort of like showing up for ourselves. If this is the type of content that resonates with you, please like and subscribe. And until the next video, go out and seize the day. Doesn't matter if it is a dull day and I've had to have the lights on and a little halo over my head. You can go and seize the day. Have the most amazing day, whatever you're doing. And remember, there's always choices in life, so choose wisely. Bye until the next one.